Giro. Not arrogant, just better. Just getting my pre-fight predictions on UFC 142. Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes for the featherweight title for the UFC. We're coming from the HSBC Arena in Rio de Janeiro. This fight card looks pretty good. Top to bottom, it's got a lot of up-and-coming fighters, a lot of fighters with very versatile fighters, and it looks pretty good. So we're going to get down to business with this fight card, and we'll see how it ends up. First of all, in the lightweight division, we have Sam Stout versus Thiago Tavares. Tavares, his hands have been impressing me lately. I know in the Shane Rollers fight, he was outboxing Shane Rollers, and Shane Rollers caught him with a big right hand and knocked him out. Tavares' ground game is stellar, and Sam Stout, I always keep saying about Sam Stout, and that's something about him which doesn't impress me at all. But his last few fights, like the fight against Phil Ives, where he knocked him out one punch, knocked him out clean, and knocked him out pretty bad. I know why he's called Hands of Stone now, but my opinion, I think Tavares is going to have the better striking. Obviously, Sam Stout's going to have the knockout power, but on the ground, I think Tavares is the better all-round fighter, and that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Tavares via decision. In the middleweight division, we have Rusima Palhares versus Mike Masenzo. Masenzo, good fighter. His last fight, he was pretty good. His striking's coming along, and it's looking pretty good. He's a big, tall fighter for 185. He's about 6'2". And Palhares, 5'8", but he is built like a brick shit house. His submissions is devastating. If he gets a hold of your leg, your arm, anything, he's going to snap it and he's going to break it off. His striking isn't the best in the middleweight division, but if he works on his striking more, his ground game, I don't see many people that are going to be able to handle him on the ground, because he's a big dude, big strong dude. He's just a big dude, and I think Masenzo doesn't have a good enough ground game to be able to deal with Palhares. If he keeps it on the feet, no doubt about it, he'll win by decision, but I think Palhares is going to get hold of him at some point in the fight, and he's going to snap a leg, break an arm, whatever he needs to do, because I think Palhares is a good fighter, and his hands are coming along, and they're coming along pretty well, because he almost knocked out, or should have really knocked out Dan Miller, but he stopped punching for some reason. But anyways, I'm going to go with Palhares. I'm going to go with second round submission. And now, in the lightweight division, we have Edson Barbosa versus Terry Etim. Right, let's see. I think this fight for Terry Etim is going to be a bridge too far. Right, he's been out for 18 months before his last fight, and his last fight lasted 17 seconds. You can say about ring rust all you want, but he's still going to have that ring rust factor in his fight. He's only fought 17 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it was. You can't say, oh yeah, well he had a fight. No, he's still going to have that ring rust no matter what. Edson Barbosa is one of the best strikers at 155, if not the best striker at 155. I know Terry Etim's got a good ground game, but it's not. It's the best part of his aspect because he's a British fighter, and people like to acknowledge that he has a good ground game. Barbosa, you've not seen much of his ground game, but his striking is second to none. His leg kicks, his punches, his combinations, his flashy kicks and everything like that. I don't think no one in the 55 division has kicks or hands just like him. Terry Etim, I don't really notice much about his hands. It's not been like, oh yeah, Terry Etim's got really good hands. I know his ground game's alright and his submission skills are pretty good, but I think Barbosa's going to have his way with Terry Etim. He's going to kick the crap out of his legs, he's going to punch him, he's going to need to do everything that he wants to do. He'll take him down every so often just to steal the round, to make sure, yeah, say I've won that round basically. And I think he's going to finish Terry Etim in the second round, because Barbosa is going to have a really good run at 155. It's the most stacked division in the UFC for definite. But the real test for, like I say, for Barbosa, and I've said it in every video, is when he comes against someone who's a good wrestler, who puts him on his back, and we'll see how they handle him. But I'm going to go with Terry him, getting beat by Edson Barbosa, second round TKO. And now in the middleweight division, in the co-main event, we have Vitor Belfort versus Anthony Rumble Johnson. Rumble Johnson is coming up from 170 to 185 because obviously he's been struggling making weight. I think Vitor Belfort's going to be the bigger guy because he normally cuts from anything over 210 pounds down to 185, while Rumble Johnson does walk around at about 220, but Vitor wouldn't be able to get down to 170. While Anthony Rumble Johnson would struggle to get down, but he could get down there. Right, it's an interesting fight. I think Vitor has the faster, quicker hands, more explosive knockout power. Rumble Johnson, great wrestler. He's got good knockout power. He looks pretty stiff when he punches. That's the only negative I'd say about Rumble Johnson. He looks stiff. His leg kicks don't look as slick as someone who you know is, oh yeah, that guy, he's a Muay Thai striker or anything like that. But Vitor's got the better hands. I'd say better ground game in terms of jiu-jitsu, submission game. Control on the ground, I'd say Rumble Johnson would be, because he's going to be a bigger guy. He's going to be 6'2", in terms of he'll be able to smother Vitor if it goes to the ground. But I think both of these fighters will want to stand and bang. They'll want to see to send out a message to the other guys in the 185 division. But I'm going to go with Vitor Belfort on this fight. I think he's going to get it via first round or second round TKO, because as the fight goes on, Vitor doesn't have that knockout power like he does in the first round or the second round basically. But he normally finishes most of his fights in the first round. But nah, I'm still going with Vitor Belfort. He's going to win via, we'll go first round TKO. And Anthony Rumble Johnson will have to consider what he wants to do at 185, if he wants to go back down to 170 or stay around at 185. But it's a very interesting fight, because when I heard it I was like, sounds alright, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So I'm going to Vitor Belfort, first round TKO.
It's time!
And now in the main event we have Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes for the featherweight title. This fight is looking very good. 145 pounders, very exciting, very explosive fighters. Jose Aldo, he's defending his title for the third time, I believe, in the UFC, and his last few fights, they say that he gasses at the end of the fight. His striking is stellar, his ground game is meant to be better than his stand-up, but his stand-up is excellent, so I'd like to see how he is on the ground game. Chad Mendes, great wrestler, comes from the camp of Team Alpha Male, where he has fighters like Jose Benavidez and Uriah Faber from his camp, so he's got good guys to work with. But are they as good as Jose Aldo on the ground? No. Are they as good as Jose Aldo on the feet? Hell no. So where does this fight go for Mendes? It's if Mendes needs to get this fight to the ground and punish Jose Aldo. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. I don't want to see the title changed and go to Team Alpha Male, because I just don't find the fighters from that weight class very exciting at all. They tend to bore me quite a bit. I don't like wrestlers too much where they just lay on top of people, and I just don't find it exciting at all. But Jose Aldo, good striker, likes to stand and bang with people, likes to knock people out, and he's very, very, very skilled. I think the main thing that's gonna be the deciding factor is how hard will Jose Aldo have to cut, or how hard will Jose Aldo's weight cut be for this fight. If he cuts and it's nice and easy, I think he'll have no dramas taking out Chad Mendes. But if Mendes cuts pretty well and uses his wrestling and gets on top of Jose Aldo straight away. Not messing about, not standing, no feeling out process. Just get on top of him and see how he reacts when he's on his back. If you see that he's got slick jiu-jitsu like Miguel Torres or Nate Diaz or someone like that who's got really good submissions like Anthony Pettis, you know what I mean? You've got to assess the situation, see how he's on his back, because no one's really seen Jose Aldo on his back, and I think that's where you need to put him. You need to put him on his back and see how he reacts. So, breaking down this fight, you got Chad Mendes, wrestler, good hands, comes from a good camp. Jose Aldo, great striker, good ground game. It's really a coin toss in many aspects. It's can Aldo keep this fight standing, and can Chad Mendes get this fight to the ground? I'm gonna go with Chad Mendes on this fight. I don't know why. I just think he's going to be able to out wrestle Jose Aldo. I want Aldo to win, but I think Mendes is going to get this fight to the ground and is going to be able to punish Jose Aldo. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I am wrong. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go with Chad Mendes winning this fight by a 4th round TKO of Jose Aldo. Yep, and that's it for my UFC predictions. 142, Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes for the featherweight title. Make sure you rate, comment and subscribe to my video and post your predictions below. Any questions you got for me, just throw them. If you don't agree with some of my predictions, tell me why and why you think that my predictions are wrong or why you think they'll be wrong. But remember to subscribe, check us out at Bellator Gero, and this is Runner signing out. Peace!